Welcome, everybody, to what will be, I think, episode 197 eventually on the YouTube channel. Hi, I'm Debbie Levitt. Good morning. I'm traveling in Arizona, so it is 6 a.m. here. But thanks to my camera having a little filter, making me look a little bit brighter than I probably am. Good morning, Sirocco. So today we are doing how to build actionable customer journey maps. This was a webinar that I did a while ago for UX Brescia, and it was a super hit. So we're doing it again, and it is audience participation. So there will be slides where you're going to join in, and you can open up another window. You'll go into menti.com, MENTI. And I'll give you the code number to put in once you get there. But first, we have a handful of slides. And like I said, 5 of them will be audience participation. So I look forward to seeing what everybody whips up. All right. So, quick hello to people who don't know me. I'm Debbie Levitt from Delta CX. I've been doing CX and UX strategy, research, and design for decades. Um, my background is more strategy. I didn't come to CX or UX from art. Delta CX is a full service CX and UX consulting company. So if you find that your company is having trouble with CX, UX, product market fit, product strategy, getting your teams to work nicely together, bringing UX into agile, customer centricity, all that stuff, we help there. And that's why clients call me Mary Poppins, because I fly in, fix everything I can, and fly away to where I'm needed next. I'm just going to adjust my windows and just keep an eye on the chat as we go. There we go. Now I think I can see this. Oh, no, I can't. Okay, I'm on my travel computer. Sorry about that. Just a reminder that I say CX and UX pretty much interchangeably. So if you hear CX, I also mean UX. If you hear UX, I also mean CX. The customer experience, the user experience, these are mostly the same things. And it's just down to how we define a customer or user. But all of these are human experiences. And I don't want to die on the hill of what's customer experience and what's user experience. So let's talk about customer journey maps and why they often end up not so good. Our starting point is around skills. Most people would probably say that if you just want to make a good customer journey map, you need a good template or to know how to use a customer journey mapping tool. You've got to drop some information in the template and just have a good idea of what your customers are doing so you can map that out. But that makes it sound like anybody with a template and some ideas or assumptions can make a customer journey map. And that might be true, but unfortunately, many people will make a poor customer journey map or an inaccurate one. And these aren't the true skills that go into customer journey mapping. We should have our eyes on the quality of the work being done and the outcomes it can produce, but sometimes we think it's more important to get work done, even if the work is being done badly. We know there's a difference because there are good and bad customer journey maps. There are good and bad conversations with users or customers. There are good and bad screens. You can use Figma well and be a poor UX designer. So we must remember that the artifacts are not the skills. Customer journey maps are artifacts or documents of qualitative research. While interviews can be effective, it's best to observe the journey. What people say and what they do might not be the same, and not everybody remembers or can describe every step, the way they took it, and all of the details around those steps. This means that the real skills required for customer journey mapping lie in CX or UX qualitative research skills. And these would include studies of human behavior and cognitive psychology, problem finding and solving, critical thinking, deductive reasoning and logic, putting your preferences and biases aside to design for user needs. Oop, lost my cursor. And specifically for research, skills include planning the research, choosing the best methods, planning the correct questions and the tasks we should observe, choosing the right quantity and types of participants, executing sessions with neutrality and a good interviewing style, observing and noticing things others miss, being a mini detective, analyzing the data, bringing it together to report on insights, pain points, and opportunities, delivering actionable suggestions around pain points, opportunities, strategy, and direction. Strategies and decisions are only as good as our customer intelligence, which is only as good as the research we've done. That research is only as good as any of these skills and how these techniques and best practices were used. Anybody can create a customer journey map. Anybody can grab a template and drop real or imagined information in. The question will be how we make sure we're setting teams and projects up for success. And I forgot to mention, please put all questions in the Q&A. I'll check those after I do the slides. And comments can go in the chat. I'm not looking at them right now. I'll look back at the chat when we get to our audience participation. We work from what we know. And when we don't know, we work from what we guess. And this is where risk and waste creep in. It's our job to identify and mitigate risk and to keep our teams from burning time on bad ideas. That's ultimately a lot of the value in CX and UX work. We're helping our teams and our company attract new customers, make them happy, and retain them or improve their loyalty. Every company wants this. We provide the intelligence that will help them make better decisions so we can achieve these. A customer journey map is just one document that helps us represent and share customer intelligence. So, why do we create customer journey maps? Because we want to visualize how a target audience experiences something now. That's it. Great customer journey maps help us make decisions, take action, prioritize, and understand our customers better. Great customer journey maps set us up for success when we attempt to streamline and optimize the task and experience and create a desired future state journey map. Bad customer journey maps end up filed away, never to be seen again. Bad customer journey maps mislead us and make us believe our guesses and assumptions are true. Bad customer journey maps should be treated as a document that represents project and company risk, not as a document that is a source of truth. The customer journey map you see on the screen looks pretty good, right? It's thorough, organized, and contains the elements we expect to see in a customer journey map. But what you can't tell from looking at it is that I created it as part of a job interview challenge. I was asked to create a customer journey map, choosing whatever persona I would like, taking whatever journey. So I grabbed a persona I made in 2014 when my company did research on how people with Parkinson's disease use fitness wearables. And I pretended that Community Carry is shopping for renter's insurance. The persona is real, but didn't come from an observational study on how people shop for renter's insurance. The journey is completely made up, and the persona is outdated or irrelevant, but it looks pretty good. And if we're not careful, our company might create strategies, decisions, and products for this imagined customer and her guessed at and assumed journey. So today we'll be looking at some customer journey maps and using our critical thinking to determine if they're good or not. But what are we looking for? We need clear criteria to help us understand if the journey map we're looking at or working on or creating is good or not. First, is the journey map from the customer's perspective? Did we map their experience or did we map awareness to advocacy or some sort of funnel? Did we map how our internal teams or business units view our customers or did we map our customers realistically? If our journey map includes opportunities or suggestions, do these truly solve real customer problems or pain points? Or are we suggesting what might solve our business problems or treating the customer like somebody we just push around? Does our map really show this journey correctly? Or did we map something too high level or lacking in detail? We'll look at an example of a journey map that is too high level. Where did we get the information that we put into the map? Did this come from great qualitative and preferably observational research? Did it come from guesses, assumptions, and we know our users? You can guess at a customer journey map, but that's risky and wasteful. Make sure your customer journey map is marked clearly at the top that it is assumptive. The best customer journey maps are made from watching our target audience live through their, that should say live through their experiences and live in their natural environment. We know the map we're creating represents the real journey because we witnessed it over and over with multiple research study participants carefully recruited to best represent a particular target audience population. Make sure you are evidence based and data informed. Any guesses, assumptions, or hopes in your map should be marked as risk and elements to be replaced later by knowledge. If you're not starting with great qualitative research, a map clearly highlighting guesses and assumptions should inspire us to invest in a research study so we can gather the customer intelligence that will set us up for success. Does our customer journey map help us understand the user problem, pain point, task, or need? Do we understand the root causes of these problems and pain points? It will be harder to create the right strategies, decisions, or products if we really don't understand user problems and everything that's causing them. Does our customer journey map make the mistake of offering so called opportunities or solutions when we don't understand the real problems? Does our customer journey map provide customer intelligence so that we can make better team, product, and service decisions? Did our map help us during a prioritization exercise? Did it help clarify what our team might want to work on first? Not which features do we build first, which pain points and problems do we address first? Does this journey map inspire our CX or UX designers? Can they review this map and start to understand how to solve customers' real problems? It's great when a customer journey map is pretty or even beautiful, but it's more important that it be functional and actionable. While working on these maps or reviewing an existing map, let's ask ourselves these questions and think critically about the answers. This might lead our teams to some tough but important conversations. How much information should we include on a customer journey map? Should we include the amount of time spent on a step? How detailed should this get? What about variations that we saw across our research participants? Not everybody will take this journey or move through this task identically. Should we include how people feel? If they don't mention how they feel, can we really know? Are we guessing what they feel? Should the customer journey map only show successful journeys? Do these always have to end on a happy note with smiling faces and people dancing with their dogs? Can our customer journey map end in frustration or disaster? You should be including enough detail so that the journey map is true and accurate, helps us find pain points, writes good problem statements, and sees the opportunities for improvement or true innovation. Your customer journey map is not enough if it doesn't help our teams strategize, prioritize, and make better and more customer centric decisions. All right, get ready for audience participation. We're going to flip over to menti.com 33911. This is a sample customer journey map from the HubSpot website. Not sponsored, I just grabbed it. How does it do? Let's get your comments on what you see as being done well or poorly. Put them in menti.com 33911. Is this map actionable? What is this map doing well? What is this map doing poorly? I'm going to flip over to our responses. People typing anything? Can people get to 33911 at menti.com? MENTI. What do you notice about this customer journey map that might be good or bad? This is Jumping Jamie. Yes, loading. For example, Is it from the customer's perspective? Are people able to get to Minty.com? Yes. Okay. Just because it says nobody's written anything yet. Okay, great. So maybe you're all thinking. Well, we'll take a couple of minutes. Yes, the link in chat would be Minty.com. And then you would type 33911 to enter our particular question. Guess everybody's thinking. I'm not seeing any pop up yet. Here we go. The feels seem to be assumed, not real. The whole asking this and that carrier doesn't seem like a real experience. Too high level, says someone else. The scenario doesn't sound real. It misses details like how does he really feel? Okay, I'll wait for a few more to come up. These are great. Go ahead, put on that critical thinking hat. Be critical. I didn't make this. I found this in the Google images. Let's tear into it. How is the customer defining parameters? Yeah, that might be important to know what their criteria are. We'll wait for a few more and then I'll move back to the slide. But we've got 5 of these today. So get ready to chew on some customer journey maps I found on Google Images and let's be critical. Touch points are unclear, not well defined. How do the opportunities link up to the problems? Yeah, these are all great. Yeah, thanks. So I'll continue because we've got more of these coming. Okay, so here's some of the things that I found. Is this from the customer's perspective? Maybe. At least it's not. First, I became aware of company X. But does Jamie's life change if support answers calls faster? Was that a problem? What about our knowledge sources? And is this true? We don't know the sources, but this journey doesn't seem true to me. Watches commercial is a hint. Is that really a step of the process or something marketing put in so we feel better about all that money we spent on commercials? Is this journey different if Jamie doesn't see our commercial? Do we really think, and I'm using a she pronoun for Jamie, do we really think that she will call her current carrier to tell them she's shopping around? How often does that happen? Does she call competitors to negotiate with each one? In the 2020s, she doesn't pick one and sign up from the website. She'll make all those calls and then call again to sign up. If Jamie wonders if she can pay less, does she ever check her current carrier's website or call them just to change to a cheaper plan? I'm sure only a percentage of customers end up switching to other carriers, especially if they're locked into a contract, and switching means paying an early termination fee. Where in this journey is figuring out if she has an early termination fee? Does anybody stop and define the parameters they require for a new cell phone plan? Yeah, that was great. That was someone pointed that out. Who puts that much work into this? This journey seems unrealistic. It seems like the company imagined this, but probably didn't observe people doing most or any of this. Is her expectation friendly and helpful customer support, or is her expectation to not need support at all? And it looks like the same old happy, sad, happy customer journey map. We are frustrated all day long and we know companies suck, yet every customer journey map seems to end with success and happiness. Journey maps should match reality. How about problem definition? What's Jamie's problem? Do we understand it? How do things go wrong for her? Why is this so difficult? Doesn't tell us what's difficult. Opportunities look like very specific solutions. Here we go. There's my arrow. We don't really understand Jamie's problem, but we seem to know or imagine that comparing competitors' offers, breaking down her current plan, and offering customer support via text messaging or chat will solve the problems we're pretending she has. How about prioritization and decisions? We'll probably start with showing competitors' offers, breaking down her current plan, and adding more customer support channels. But are those the right decisions? Top priorities? How will we stay on top of every competitor's offering to put that on our site? Could we be sued for misrepresenting other companies' offers? And how about inspiring designers? Can CX or UX designers know what to create to help Jamie solve her problem? Probably not if we don't understand her problems. Super job, everybody. I'm going to jump to the next one. I'm just trying to find my screen. Yep. Uh, Watching TV commercials. Do they have internet? Reducing call time a real problem? How does the user make a decision to purchase? Yeah, these are great. So let's see. We're going to go to the next one. So you should see a new empty Menti screen open. We're going to take a look at another customer journey map that I read about in an article. So we don't have a visual here. We have a described customer journey. So as I read this, come back to Menti 33911. If it didn't show up, press reload. And I'm going to read you this journey map. It's also on the screen, and you're going to tell me what sounds good or bad about it. Imagine you're designing a new experience of going through the TSA checkpoint, which is security, at the airport. Your moments along the top of this user journey map might be pack for trip, travel to airport, arrive at airport, find security line, show ID to TSA, go through security, find gate, arrive at destination. Once you have your top level journey moments or touch points, use your personas to go step by step and capture what your user is feeling, thinking, and doing at every phase. Through this process, you can begin to map the breadth of problems your user faces to identify the most prominent issues to tackle through design or innovation. So, that entire thing was a quote from an article, both the customer journey and the paragraph that came after about how you're going to use your personas to fill in the rest of the journey map. Let's see what people noticed. I don't understand the question, not based on real data. Yeah, does any of this sound like a real customer journey to you going through airport security? What else do you notice about it? I can't tell if anyone's typing. That's the downside. Who are the target groups? Okay, so who are we talking about? Is this everybody who goes through airport security, or is this a subset of people or a certain segment? Great. That's a perfect journey. No one has doubts when flying. Can they get lost? Does everyone go through TSA? There's no problem there. It says imagine, not observe people doing the thing. Yes, awesome. Awesome to whoever wrote that. These are all anonymous. Excellent, excellent thing. Yes. So just to, what is TSA? So TSA is the security checkpoint in American airports. It stands for Transportation Security, I think, Administration, because it's a big body that handles all the security in American airports. Okay, so let me continue because we got more of these. So my first question, of course, is does this sound like a real journey going through airport security? Can you think of important steps or experiences this misses? Do you think this is the journey for a disabled person? How about someone who doesn't speak the language of the airport they're in? Does our customer understand the latest security policies and procedures? Did they pack ahead of time knowing those? Will they be surprised when they try to go, excuse me, through security? Can you read a persona document and know what someone's customer journey truly was? That part of it just made my head explode. We're just going to look at our personas and fill them in. Sure, with guesses and made up crap. Do we ever really know what our customers are thinking or feeling? I would say we only know what our customers do and what they say. They might say they feel or think something, but it's still what they said. And we're not psychics. We must be careful of thinking that we know how someone feels or what they're thinking. Would a customer journey map with these steps pass our criteria? Will we understand the problems in detail? Will we make good decisions and take the right actions? Will designers know where to start? It doesn't sound like any research was done. It sounds like we're going to guess this based on what people think we do. Okay, I'm going to load up another one. And yeah, why are we designing a new experience for TSA? Well, maybe we're service designers. This is high level and lacks detail. Being Black people feeling unsafe at TSA for real, for sure. This is obviously not going to be everybody's experience. It ignores the reality of airports. These are great. Yeah, and doesn't take into account delays. And yeah, these are super. Thanks everybody. We're going to go to the next one, which is Anna's airport journey, and this is a different customer journey map, but it's from a different source. So I'm not going to say too much. Take a moment to take a look at the airport. Take a look at the airport. Good morning, everybody. Take a look at the customer journey map on the screen and start writing some things in menti.com 33911. Sorry, 33911. Reload it if it didn't come up automatically. Tell me some of the things you noticed that might be good or bad about this airport journey. Oops. I'll flip back to Menti and see what people are writing. I know it might be a little bit small and hard to read. It says Anna arrives at the airport. Anna checks in. Anna checks out the flight gates. Anna goes through security. Anna goes through passport control. Anna goes to the gate. Anna waits for boarding. Anna queues up for boarding. Anna boards the plane. Anna waits for takeoff. Anna takes off. Anna enjoys her lunch. Real pictures are great. Yeah, they can be a nice addition. Pictures and screenshots can be a nice addition to customer journey maps. It's another perfect journey. There's no decision to be made and no problems show up. Yeah. I mean, we do have there's something I'm going to add to it at once I'm getting back to my notes, but yeah. Does she really enjoy the lunch? Right. Well, did she bring her own lunch? Did she buy lunch? Is it the airplane lunch? We don't know. I always heard food on airplanes is horrible. You know, it used to be. It's much better now. I flew over from Europe here to America, and the food was pretty good. I had vegetarian both times, just to try to watch my calories since I'm on a crash diet, and it wasn't bad. It was Indian. It was nicely spiced, heavy on the cumin. What are we talking about? What's the goal of the journey? Emotional journey? What are the facts? Yeah, exactly. Why are we doing this? It's way too high level. What are her goals? Okay, so let me flip back to some of my notes while you type some of yours. So my notes say Anna arrives at the airport. She checks in. Is that really her next step? How did she find where to check in? How did that go? Is she even in the right terminal? Then she checks out the gates. Does she have to? Gates are sometimes written on the boarding pass. I use an app that notifies me of my gate. I don't look at the gate boards that much. Anna may or may not check out the gates. Anna goes through security. We already talked about how many steps that is. It could be dozens of steps from the knowledge of what you can take through to unpacking and packing, taking off certain items of clothing, moving around your electronics and batteries. There's so many steps, and what here is just one step going through security. You can see a map like this is very high level. It would be unlikely to be actionable or provide the details we really need to make decisions, understand the problem, or start considering solutions. And I'm a little nervous to see this up here. It's a spot for you to fill in what percent of this map is assumption based. Now, it's better to note how much this is guessed or assumed than to not mention that. So, yes, call things an assumption based journey when it's not based on good qualitative research data. But why did we make a map from guesses and assumptions? It's important for us to then research so that we can replace assumptions with knowledge. But this raises some critical thinking questions. What is the benefit of starting with a guessed at journey map? Are we basing decisions and strategies on incorrect information? And if we're going to guess at the map, do research later, and then correct the map, did we waste time by starting with a guessed at map? Did guessing at the map limit our research and accidentally cause us to miss steps our assumption based map left out? A journey mapping instructor from the crappy Service Design Network course you've heard me all complain about over and over, this person showed this map and asked attendees to think about each of these airport steps from their own recent experiences. We were told to drop a dot based on how positive or negative each step was for us. And here are the dots that people placed when I took this course. Now, this is reality. Though, again, maybe because I'm not the user, someone else is the user, but it was a good critical thinking moment because at many steps of a journey, people have very positive, slightly negative, very negative, and neutral experiences. Does our customer journey map capture that? Did we get all of that detail? Or did we go with our biases or stereotypes and say, checking in for the flight was great and Anna's happy. Going through security is awful and Anna is sad or mad. We could draw all of these dots to show which participant had what kind of experience or felt what kind of emotion. But does this help us? Is this good evidence? How can we act on this? Do we have enough detail in each step to understand what's going well and what's going wrong? The instructor said journey maps aren't supposed to document all the possible steps and experiences. And if we want to map everything, we'll need flowcharts. If the customer journey map isn't the real customer journey, what are we documenting? What are we doing? How do we know what to exclude or include? Will we pick the wrong things because of biases or stereotypes? I'm very concerned about these types of things. All right, here's another. I hope these are fun. Yes, this was in the crappy service design course that I dropped out of. Okay, let's meet Paula. Paula's going on a journey. I found this one in Google Images when I searched for customer journey map. Let me know what's bad or good about Paula's journey, where she starts out concerned, then she feels supported, then she feels cared for, and then she feels annoyed. What do you notice? Yeah, sorry. By the way, we might run late today. We might run closer to a full hour. If some of you can't stay, I understand. But you can always watch the video later. First, it will go up for our Patreon members. You can join for as little as $1 American a month. And then in 2 weeks, it'll be on our customer experience, customer centricity YouTube channel. What's the scenario? I'm not even sure what the problem is. Yeah. What is going on here for Paula? We don't know. I'm looking at it and I don't see it. Why did the handoff fail? This is an emotional journey. Yeah. And while you put stuff up, I'm going to talk about what I saw. So here are some things I noticed. We have no idea why this customer is angry with dealing with our company. What is the problem? How? When? Why? Always? Sometimes? I have no detail on this, which means I'm not sure where to start to fix this. But the map confidently says that we just need to incentivize support or sales reps more or better. Really? Does that fix the customer's problem? Are customers ready to leave us and we think our internal teams need better incentives? Suddenly and magically, our customer is freaking thrilled with us. Everything's going great. No concerns anymore. All the past problems are forgotten. And our opportunities are to share best practices learned. That's it. No problems to solve. It sounds like our company sucks in so many ways. Do we even know what best practices are? Holy cats, looks like our customer is in hell again. They're annoyed because some other part of our company failed them. We really have a lot of problems in a lot of areas. Did we learn from sharing our best practices? Evidently not. And I don't know what we're smoking, but we imagine that our customer has multiple problems with multiple parts of our company and dreams of leaving us, but won't leave us? Really? They have considered it, but they'll be loyal despite the problems we cause them. And our solution here is to use digital tools. Which ones? How? How will digital tools solve various multidimensional problems customers have with us? It's obviously a template, but it's a poor example that nobody should follow. It isn't realistic or actionable. I have no idea what to do to fix what's going wrong because I have no insight into what's going wrong. This is the type of map I see when a company really has its head in the sand. We suck, but people won't leave us, and let's just use some digital tools. All right, one more. Um, yeah, sounds like Paul is in a toxic relationship with the company. What are the steps? Where did this info come from? Why won't she leave if she's annoyed? Yeah, totally. Okay, one more, everybody. I hope you're having some fun. This is another that I found in Google Images. What do you notice about it? What's good and what's bad? Let's see. And this is an online shopping customer journey map. Want to buy a Christmas gift for a friend? Searches product keywords on search engines. Clicks the first ad result. Checks online again and goes to the first original result. Checks out ongoing deals and hot sale products. Opens a product page to check out product details. Opens more product pages to compare info. Processes to pay a prefer- oh, processes a preferred product. Contacts online service for help with a smiley face. All right. What do you notice about that one? It's poorly diagrammed. Okay, so it's not as pretty as it could be, but is that its biggest problem? Is the biggest problem here that it's not pretty enough? I want to know what search engine they used. If the first result is perfect, great. I need that for my Christmas shopping. Well done, whoever wrote that. These are anonymous. That's fantastic. Yeah, magically, the first search result was the perfect Christmas gift for the perfect person. Amazing. Whoever it was. No opportunities and no touch points. Okay, nice. Are the customer expectations based on actual research? Yeah, we don't know. There isn't a little sign here saying what percentage of this was assumed. Customer goes from annoyed to happy without any trigger. Yeah, they are really bouncing through serious emotional swings. And there seems to be unhappy, satisfied, and very happy. There doesn't seem to be very unhappy. There doesn't seem to be a neutral moment. So this is a bit of a strange scale. Who's the user? What's their segment or profile? That's right. We're supposed to put that on a journey map. Okay, great stuff. I'll tell you what I noticed, and then we'll see what else. So, very little of this seems realistic to me. It seems made up and manipulated, which means it's risky and not a source of truth. We shouldn't make decisions based on a map like this. Nearly zero customers would say, I expect to find it easy to obtain news of discounts. This sounds like something marketing makes up so they can say they're solving that by emailing. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. They're solving that by emailing the mailing list lots of discount offers. As a strategist, architect, and designer, I can't make a more user friendly search engine until I learn what's wrong with our search or results. This doesn't help me design. We're going to show people ads and then allow them to hide ads. And the sales team selling the ads is going to allow that. The advertisers are okay with that. Maybe we should just have fewer or no ads. But if we make money selling things to people and we make more than that on that than ads, why don't we get rid of the ads and remove a whole step that makes people annoyed? Is the customer still happy with our website if they don't know how to find the best prices? I'm not sure this is a happy moment. This says we need clear and innovative website design. Is our problem clarity? Is our problem a lack of website innovation? Innovation is creating something people have never seen before. What do we need to invent because people can't find the best price? Have our teams failed if they solve the price problem but don't innovate? I could go on and on. Hopefully, you are now deep into critical thinking mode and can see all of these weird things before I tell them to you. Because this looks like an okay customer journey map. Someone might say it's a good customer journey map, but I believe this is not meaningful, actionable, or helpful. I don't believe this is based on real observations of target audiences going through their real tasks and processes. I believe this is manipulated so we can show we have a reason to offer more discounts and payment choices. I feel like we have a made up journey to explain some things we wanted to do anyway. Online shopping sites should not have ads. Very true. That's a great way to get people to leave your site. Okay, so I have a few more slides. Let me just check how many slides I have. I have a few more slides where I'm going to talk about what we could do better, and then I'll be taking your questions. So, how do we make this more actionable? Again, it's all going to come down to research. A lot of times people say, well, we'll just run a survey. We'll just call a couple of people and ask them what they want. Or we'll just do a workshop. I'm sure if we get everybody together, we'll have a pretty good idea of the customer's journey. But that's going to be a lot of guesses and assumptions. So can we say we really know our customers? Again, it comes back to research, like I was saying earlier. We want it to be 100% accurate, and so we want to do the right research, planning the research, recruiting the right people, having them execute tasks in their natural environments. That's the journey. Every step of a research process or study can make or break the quality and accuracy of the information that you have. That's why I always want to see this research planned, executed, and analyzed by experienced, qualified researchers. Sure, it can be fun to learn research, but when making mission critical artifacts or documents at our job, it's better to rely on people with excellent skill, proficiency, and expertise. Some say assumption based customer journey maps are good because you can learn what your team or stakeholders assume. That's a lot of time spent just to capture what people guess or assume, and you run the risk that the document will be treated as accurate and truthful. There are other ways to capture assumptions, like last week's workshop, episode 196. It's available to Patreon members right now. It'll be on YouTube in about a week. And this is the newly renamed Discovery Phase Knowledge Quadrant. I usually call it the quadrant exercise. And you can watch that webinar when it's available to you. But your goal is to capture what people think they know, guess, assume. They can drop sticky notes where they have unanswered questions, guesses and assumptions, outdated information. And then I teach you how to facilitate that. So I would rather use this to learn what people assume or wish they knew, and then spin up the research project to answer that questions, then make a very realistic looking customer journey map that I then have to keep explaining to people isn't real, isn't final, and could be completely inaccurate and made up. I also want to talk about task analysis, which we'll be talking more about on, I think, September 11th webinar. So don't forget to go to cxcc.to/events and sign up for our other webinars, all free, not put on a mailing list. Patreon is our mailing list. If you want to join a mailing list, you can join Patreon for free. So, customer journey maps are not really flowcharts. They don't account for the differences in how people tend to do things. And I'd like to talk a little about task analysis. Some of you have heard me talk about it before. This is a bit of a repeat, but I do prefer it over jobs to be done. And it's normally an artifact, task analysis. Of qualitative research like observing people. We're not going to be able to make a good task analysis based on surveys or focus groups or even diary studies because people tend to forget steps or details. And so it's much better to watch this. So, task analysis starts with a researcher creating a flowchart showing the steps that they saw the user take. This is what? What did they do? The researcher then adds notes at each step for tools, knowledge, and workarounds. This is anything that the user did to try to make that step better. They have a sticky note at their desk. They asked a coworker for help. They use photo editing software before uploading the photo. We can also add issues, concerns, and obstacles for this step. Documenting tools, knowledge, workarounds, issues, concerns, and blockers or obstacles give us 6 new categories where we might find behaviors, themes, preferences, unmet needs, insights, and opportunities. Sure, we want to improve the steps of the process, but we can also make improvements that account for these other areas. Researchers then analyze the task flow and what we learned from observations and interviews. Look for knowledge gaps, the difference between what we assumed people knew or understood and what they actually know or understand. And you'll definitely see this in observational research, especially where people are guessing or giving up. But here's an example from a project my company did in 2021. We were doing observational research for people shopping on websites where they get items with logos printed on them. We told them you have 1,000 fake dollars and you need to buy 125 of these logo mugs or whatever the items were, water bottles, I think. Now, a lot of people grabbed a real calculator or their phone and opened up the calculator app and they divided $1,000 by 125 items. They decided they had $8 per item and were surprised when at the end of the task they were over budget. Only one participant did the math and said, no, I don't think I have $8 per item because you're going to add all kinds of fees and stuff later. I probably have $6 per item. She was right. So not only did we see so many people using a calculator as a tool, but only one person had the knowledge that shipping and fees for this type of item get added on at the end as a bit of a surprise. And you have to consider that. So back to task analysis, we can create an optimized task flow by looking at anywhere the system can take workload off the user. It's not just automating the steps of the task, it's intelligently and deliberately architecting for what we expected people to know or remember or be able to do. Build knowledge into the system. That doesn't mean tooltips and training and tutorials. It means the system's just really intuitive because it works based on what people probably know. And for that e-commerce project, we designed on the product page an area where people could enter their total budget, and the system would then deduct taxes, shipping, and other fees and charges and tell you how many of the item you could get. As you changed color options, shipping speed, and other item parameters, the number of items you could get for that budget changed. Not only did this solve multiple problems and fix the tool and knowledge dependency, but we invented something no other competitor was doing. We saw 20 competitors during our research, and none of them had a way for you to enter your budget and see how many you could get. So we've got some videos about this on YouTube. You can go to YouTube. It's on our old channel, and you can type Delta CX Task Analysis and check it out. And also, Larry Marine, who teaches task analysis, also talks about task dimensions. These are things we need to look out for, especially during a task analysis. Like, is something manually intensive with lots of steps or manual work? Is it high cognitive load? Are we really making people think or process information? Is it error prone? Are people making a lot of mistakes or likely to? And is it knowledge dependent, as we were just talking about? Like you have to pay your bill and you have to know your account number. Okay, I know my phone number and my email, but not my account number. And remember that a task analysis, because it is a sort of flow chart, it can account for what's going on with different customers. So I did a little fake sample one, imagining that people are they have to gate check their bag. That's when you're at the gate for your flight and they take your carry-on bag away from you because they're out of space. But we can't just assume the happy path that you give someone your bag and everything goes fine. All kinds of things could happen. Um, like people fighting about it, people repacking. There's so many things that go on. So we can map that. And then, of course, we would want to map how could this be streamlined? How could gate checking a bag be better? Now, this might not be digital design. This might be more service design where we're designing the airport or gate or boarding experience. So don't expect this to be solved with an app or a screen. This is probably service design. And really quickly, for another style of map that you could make, you don't have to make a customer journey map. You could represent the customer journey with a service blueprint. Now, these two things next to each other are actually one really long thing. It's a service blueprint style that I've been working on where I threw absolutely everything you could possibly imagine into one thing. So it's a little overwhelming. You might want to bring it down, but I took common service blueprint fields and I added a bunch of stuff to it. So we've got our stages, substages, we've got our channels and evidence. So we've got our standard things. And then I'm adding some other things. I'm adding some stuff from task analysis and I'm adding, yeah. So here's some things I'm adding. You can check this out too. I'm putting in risks and opportunities so that it's those aren't always in service blueprints, but I think it would be interesting to have them there. And metrics, how are we going to watch that this is going well? So if you want to check out this template, it's a little overwhelming, but it's at deltacx.link slash ESB for expanded service blueprint dash Miro, MIRO. Again, this will be recorded. You can always find that later. And here's another fun version that I do teach. I call it the disaster journey map. This is our last slide. So then I'll take your questions. Please put them in the Q&A. And this is what I use when sometimes I have to help my team understand why something could go worse than they imagine. Very often, our teams assume that everything's going to go great, customers will figure out everything, no one will have a problem. And this was one I created when I worked at Macy's.com, and my teammates wanted to make it so that so we were sending people boxes of small sample beauty items, and we hoped that they would come back to the website with the list of items, click on an item and buy the big version, like a lipstick or a perfume. And we had it set up so everybody got the same sample color lipstick. But when you clicked on the link to buy the big one, it actually showed you a different color lipstick. And lipstick shades are so sometimes subtle. I thought a lot of people wouldn't notice that they were going to order the wrong lipstick shade. And I said, if they're coming from this page, we need to default the color to something else. And product manager said, no, that doesn't matter. The product manager and engineers said, well, we don't feel like building that. So I had to do this customer disaster journey map to show, it's a little bit of a storyboard to show what it would look like for someone to love the lipstick sample, go back to buy a full one, accidentally get the wrong color because they don't see that we're helping them make a mistake. Then they call customer support saying, I got the wrong color, but customer support says, what are you talking about? You got the color you ordered. Why don't you drive to a Macy's store and return it? Now our customer's super mad and they've got the I want to speak to your manager haircut. And then they're bad mouthing us on Facebook and all over the place. And when I showed this to my team, they actually got it. And they actually changed their mind and they built it so that when you clicked that link, you now got the lipstick color that you'd been sent. Okay, that wraps up today's webinar. Don't forget to check out my book, Customers Know You Suck. And from here, I'm going to check Q&A and I'll stick around a little bit taking questions. Let's see if we've got any questions in the Q&A. No. So if anybody has any questions about journey mapping or some of the other options I've showed you, please put them in the Q&A. I'm looking at the screen. Also, again, remember that this is being recorded. I will edit it down probably tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to have time today. So it'll go to our paying Patreon members tomorrow. Again, you can join for as little as $1 a month. And then it will be on YouTube in about 2 weeks. And again, oh, my hand doesn't exist. Join our other events. at cxcc.to/events. Can I mix a blueprint with a customer journey map, says Francisco? And I would say the service blueprint, that's what I did with the expanded service blueprint. I kind of took common service blueprint rows and I added other things that I thought could be there. Some were from customer journey mapping, some were from task analysis, some were just um, risks, opportunities, which again, sometimes you see in customer journey mapping. The only thing I didn't add back was emotions because I tend to find the emotions made up, manipulated, guessed at, and not actionable. If a step of the process really sucks, I don't need a sad face to tell that story. It sucks. If you think the sad face helps tell the story, sure, add an emotion row for that. I made that one in UX Pressure, but hashtag not sponsored. You can pick any tool you like. We have a question in the chat. Let me find that. Catherine says, I want to know for process mapping, you have different levels of processes. Does customer journey mapping have levels from high to low level details? Cool. I'd love to see it, Francisco. I would say, Catherine, in that case, you're probably better with a service blueprint, since that is probably going to better address levels of detail in process. If you're familiar with a service blueprint, then you might be familiar with this. But if you're not, a service blueprint maps aspects of the process that the user or customer sees and experiences. And then it also maps aspects of the process that have to happen, but are kind of behind the scenes that the customer or user doesn't experience. In my Customers Know You Suck book, the example I give is I bought a SIM card from a vending machine. Okay, there's aspects of that experience that I see and touch and experience, and I get a SIM card, but somebody had to go to that machine and fill it with SIM cards. So that's part of the process that I didn't see and I probably didn't even think about, but it's still in the system, it's in the process. And I think service blueprinting does a good job. What's the ideal sample population size for customer journey maps, says Sancha. I'll get to the question in a moment. Ultimately, because it is an artifact of research, you're going to want to use your generative research best practices, which are 8 to 12 people per segment plus people with different disabilities. I don't believe that, I think 8 to 12 is usually a good per segment or persona or typology. It's a good number. That way you get hopefully a mix of genders, ethnicities, ages, whatever is important for you to mix up among that 8 to 12. But it usually doesn't assume we've met people with disabilities. So I like to say 8 to 12 plus people with different disabilities or combinations of disabilities. So right now I'm thinking more 15 or so. So instead of 10, maybe more 15. Let me jump back to the Q&A. Sirocco says, is it hard to help companies move on from using outdated customer journey maps? It is, mostly because in the last few years, with the rise in popularity of customer journey mapping, especially as part of a CX program at many companies, people were just guessing at them or workshopping them, which was team guessing. And people really fell in love with the idea of we're going to get a workshop together, we're going to spend a fun day drawing out what the customer does, and you end up with the kind of ones that we just critiqued, where they're not really real or realistic, but we act like they are and we think they're good. And it's hard to get companies to put in the time and money to do the good research that would give us an accurate customer journey map. Right now, companies work from bad ones. I had someone contact me privately, who of course I won't name, and they said, most of my job is customer journey mapping at a very famous insurance company. I think it was like a healthcare provider thing. And they said, and then I'm not allowed to do anything. I can't make any of this change. They're not taking any of my suggestions. They're like, what am I doing? So I think customer journey mapping can't just be an isolated exercise. It has to be part of a larger look at making change. Thank you, Sirocco. Ader says, is there a noticeable difference between a customer journey map between B2C and B2B products? Not necessarily. I mean, a customer journey map is their journey. The B2C might be a buyer. Maybe the B2B is someone who is evaluating your system but doesn't end up using it. In that sense, your template might look similar, but your journey is going to be totally different. So it really depends. If you, for example, in the client who sold the custom logo stuff, the journey for the B2B customers and the B2C customers was slightly different, mostly in collaboration. The B2B people needed a lot more paperwork and approvals before buying a bunch of logo water bottles or whatever, whereas the B2C people who were doing it for scouting troops or school fundraisers or parties, they didn't require a lot of paperwork and layers of excuse me, approvals. So you might do two separate journey maps, but remember, you're supposed to do a different journey map per persona because personas uh, should be behavioral typologies, and this is a set of people who behave differently. Francisco says, how do you deal when there are teams working on a customer journey map like marketing team and they see they're designing a bias? Do you think they can own? Okay, so this is hard. And this means saying some things out loud that people don't want to, such as, I see here you've shown that the customer does this. How do we know that? Now, again, it's always better to say, how do we know that than how do you know that, even if you use você, because we want to make it sound like it's part of our problem and not you. I'm pointing at you. You suck. So, how do we know this? Oh, you're saying the customer watches a TV commercial before they run to the store and buy this? How do we know that? Do some people not watch that TV commercial? I think you have to do some small things to kind of chip away at it. Or you can say, hey, I saw an interesting template of a customer journey map where it said that we should really mark at the top of it what percentage of this are things that we're just assuming, or they're based on things we think we know about customers. What percentage of this map would you say is based on what we think we know versus where we have really good research? And someone might say, oh, 10% is guessed. We really know this. And we'd say, okay, great. Can we see some of that research and data? And if they say no, then it's like, well, that's not very friendly. So I think we just have to start chipping away at some of this a little bit. But yeah, these are great questions. Sorry, we're running a little late. Thanks, Marjolaine. Um, you can design different paths for, yes. Catherine says, if a company doesn't have a system to support all the manual tasks staff carry, is then this customer journey map a first step before designing the wireframe to build out the system? Yeah, there's a lot of strange stuff in that question. If the company isn't going to support the tasks that the staff are doing, what the hell is going on? Stop right there. What's going on that the company is not going to support the tasks that the staff have to do? I have a lot of questions right there. I need to have a tough love conversation with that company. And is the customer journey map the first step before designing a wireframe? To me, the first step is always the research. We shouldn't be doing design until we understand the problem, and we understand the problem from the user's perspective, and we have good evidence and knowledge, and we've written good problem statements. If we haven't done that, sure, we can design wireframes, but we're probably guessing at the problem and then guessing at the solution, which I like to call a guessing sandwich or a guessing lasagna. So we're going to have to wrap up for today. Thanks to everybody for joining. If you're watching the video later on YouTube and you have questions, please leave them as comments under YouTube. I will personally answer them. And if you just want to help the video later in the YouTube algorithm, please comment and press like. Obviously, we're in a Google Meet right now, but hello, future person watching the video. Please press like and comment so that we can give this some algorithm love. Feel free to share this video once it's public with your workmates. These might be a great opportunity to open up some conversations about the quality of our mapping. Thanks to everybody who joined. We're going to stop recording. I don't have a cool fade out or anything. This is just a Google Meet. So I'm just going to stop recording and say a lovely goodbye to everybody. Thanks again, and I hope to see everybody at the next webinar in a week. We're meeting Steve Johnson to talk about product management. What is it and what should it be? Thanks again, everybody. Bye.